Hey, what's going on, my fellow collectors? Jim here, and we are going to look at the 2004 Sideshow Collectible 12-inch Hellboy figure. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get out, but yeah, that is not the head sculpt that comes with it. I actually ordered that after I ordered the figure off of eBay because you know what? For the price point, man, I got this figure. I know it's an old figure, but I got it at like 80 bucks with the shipping. So I thought that was a pretty reasonable price. I mean, yeah, it's old and the age is definitely there. It definitely has very loose joints. You know, it has its issues. The head sculpt and the body is like really kind of glossy red. But I figured, you know what, at that price point, I can get it and then maybe get some pieces from all the people selling that are piecing out the Artstoy version that came out, because that one was just amazing. Even though they didn't have the rights to the Hellboy name, this is actually one of the head sculpts that come off of that figure. So yeah, really cool. Which I think the Artstoy figure was just a bite off of the Hot Toys version or one of the Sideshow exclusives. But I mean, much better head sculpt. So this was about 20 bucks. This was 80 bucks. So I mean, I'm already 100 bucks in. But really, I mean, I might get some other pieces here and there down the road. But I'm kind of happy with it, with the results. But the packaging, as you can see, it does have a picture of the actual, actor from the movie, Ron Perlman, on the front there. It does say Hellboy. You do got, your 12-inch collectible figure, Sideshow. And this has this kind of like magnetic flap that will open up to reveal the clam on the inside. Got a little picture there. Got a little bit of a read up down there, and then it shows like all the names of the people that were in the movie. And the packaging is very old as well. It's almost like a Hasbro metallish, because it like has like little twisty wires and everything. The one side of the packaging. And that's exactly the same thing you get on the other side. Then the back of the packaging is really cool. It shows the figure along with, some shots from the actual actor in the movie. Very cool. A couple other figures in the line. Another little read up down here. And then all the Sideshow and everything like that. And then on the top, you basically just have Hellboy with that same picture that we saw. But yeah, I mean, this is the figure that you get out of the packaging, and I mean, it's not bad for what it is. The face is a little bit on the glossy side, like glossy red. So I'm not. That's the one thing that I didn't really. I like the expression and the sculpt that we get with this figure, or with this head sculpt. But it doesn't have the right paint on it. So, I went ahead and got the Artstoy version off of a seller on eBay, and you can see it's night and day as far as paint. Really nice job on this one. And it was quite a pain in the ass to get this off of there. It's on a very, not a big ball joint, but the hole was really small. I kind of had to dremel it out a little bit just to make it easier to fit back on there. But pop that bad boy on there, and it fits them good. It looks good. So that is how I am going to be displaying this figure. Now, I mean, as far as the figure itself, it's not bad for what it is. Very loose joints, like ridiculously loose joints. But he does come with the trench coat. And it looks really good. I mean, it's got that kind of faux leather material, but it's got some nice little, straps on here and everything like that. His arm looks great, and the one thing I like about his arm is, besides the sculpting in it, is it's a dull red. So it matches that other head sculpt much better than this kind of shiny red that we get on the face and the body. So I'm really glad that didn't turn out really glossy, like on the neck and everything, because there is a big difference between this head sculpt and the glossy shiny neck. But I mean, you can hide that with the jacket, different posing and everything like that. He does come with a couple different accessories. You do have the stand, which he desperately needs, but this is just a kind of, black circle base that says Hellboy on it. It does have a little arm in the back and a little adjustable waist grabber, kind of old school. He does come with the horseshoe. This is done okay. Pretty decent. This fell off of somewhere, and I have no idea what it fell off of, but it's his little, symbol. So that's cool. But yeah, the jacket, overall is done nice. There is no wire in it, and I might actually add a wire to it, because I think that would really help. So you could get it, kind of dynamically posed around. But I mean, the stitching on it for the most part is decent. You know, it's not bad by any means. He does have his belt, and the belt's okay. It's a little bit kind of loose on the figure, but he does have a holster, which is done nice, and we get nice little stitching, which I like on the holster itself. Cool little sculpted stitching all around and everything. And this does have a little, you know, peg you can port that through once you have the revolver in there, the Good Samaritan. It does have a couple little pouches as well. It does have like a little buckle in the front. It does have a couple more pouches on this side. And they're all done okay. He does have his little, you know, rosemary cross and beads there. And there's the waist grabber. He does come with a tail that's a complete pain in the ass to get in the back of the figure. But I do like the pants. I like the material that they went with. It's, I mean, it's a kind of fake foxy leather, but I like the design of it. It looks good. And he has his, you know, boots. And they're just basically done in a plastic with some decent sculpt on the laces and everything. And of course this jacket is removable. I mean, I haven't removed it yet just because I feel like it's going to be a pain in the ass to get back on. But he does come with his black t-shirt underneath. And then he does come with the Good Samaritan, which looks great. Really nice paint job on that thing. Nice sculpt. Very, very cool. And the this part actually rotates, so you can spin that around. That's pretty cool. It doesn't pop out. At least mine doesn't want to. I'm not going to go forcing it too bad and break it, but really nice sculpt on that thing. It looks great. Of course, we do have this trigger hand, and this is done nice and nice, kind of like soft, you know, rubber material, and a nice, good job on the glove and everything like that. And this side of the jacket, we have his little, you know, symbol, and we get these nice little kind of stitch pockets. We do get the little stitching buttons on the front of it and everything like that. The collar up here looks decent. And coming down the back of the figure, you do have his tail, which is done in like a very, it's done in like a softer material, but very hard. And then you just kind of plug that into his butt, but it's a pain in the ass. I mean, I had to actually chip away some of the pegs that were in there to get it to fit. But I mean, so I mean, for what it is, not too bad, especially with the, you know, updated head sculpt on this figure. Let me put the camera back on the tripod here so I can show you guys the articulation and everything. And then we can wrap this up. But yeah, really, really loose joints on this guy. Like, it's really unfortunate. You better look at the belt too, just because I was trying to hold the camera. But you see we got these nice little stitch pouches stitched in on the belt. And these are all separate pieces that you can move around on the belt itself. This little clip up here is a, you know, actual working little clip, even though it looks like it's going to be a mess to try to mess with. So I'm not going to mess with it. And then again, we have the holster, which looks really good. Whoops. But the revolver does fit in there really nice, and of course you have that little peg that you can port in there. But yeah, a very, very floppy mess of a figure as far as articulation. It's very unfortunate. But I mean, I know a lot of old Sideshow figures kind of suffer from that. You know, they must have just used really cheap bodies back then, and the articulation points just over time just get so loose. But of course the head is just on, you know, like a little dumbbell joint, so you're only really going to get rotation. It does kind of move forward a little bit, front and back. Of course, this is way too big for the peg, so it just kind of sits on there, but you know, that's about all the motion you're going to get with that original head. The arms, you get decent, you know, hinge out of that. It's a little ball hinge, so that goes up really nice. You know, they come straight down to his sides. I do like that. There is a little bit of forward and back motion at the shoulders, so a little bit of like almost like a little butterfly movement on that. Of course, that does go, you know, they rotate all the way around. I don't think there's a bicep swivel in there, or maybe there is. Yeah, there is a bicep swivel in there. You do get double jointed elbows, which could be about that much range. Of course, the hands just swivel. That's it. They're just kind of pegged in there, both sides. As far as, there's really nothing at the torso, but he does have movement at his waist. So you do get like a, you know, a little bit of waist movement, but it kind of seems to want to spring itself back almost. You see that? I'm able to turn him, but he springs right back, so that's kind of odd. The legs are what's really floppy on this guy. Really, really floppy. I mean, look at that. Really unfortunate. But I mean, nice movement all the way out, you know, splits, thigh rotation, double jointed knees. Give them actually surprisingly really nice range. You get a little bit of forward back in the boot and you get swivel. That's about it. So very dated articulation, but I mean, it is there and it's very, very loose. So that's unfortunate. Another thing that I'm going to have to, you know, maybe see if I can get in there and work on. But really, I'll probably just more or less, you know, just have him up on the shelf looking awesome in a pose that'll cover up that big old glossy neck. But yeah, he is just such, I mean, he won't even stand. He won't even stand. Like, the more I mess with him, he won't even stand. But getting him in a little cool pose like that, you know, for the most part covers up the neck. I mean, you know, for what it is, it's a decent little figure. Like I said, it's a cheaper way to go than, you know, kicking out the money that people want now for that, you know, Artstoy figure anyway. But yeah, guys, that was a look at the 2004 Sideshow Collectibles Hellboy 12-inch figure with a little help out from a custom head from Artstoys. So that definitely makes this figure look a lot better than it is. But I mean, with the really, really loose joints and everything, that is going to be an issue if you're going to want to kind of do the same thing. Just be wary of that. But, you know, I was really planning on maybe getting a body. Get a new body and then put all these clothing and everything on the new body. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, guys, that was a look at the figure along with the Artstoy head sculpt. That again was the original head sculpt that came with this figure. Again, not too bad, but you get a little decent amount of accessories. But yeah, this guy is going for a pretty reasonable price on eBay. For whatever reason, he's just come down in price quite a bit. I mean, I've seen him as high as like you know, over $100, but I've seen him even lower, like, you know, like around $70 price point. So I think at that price point, it's not too bad. And then, you know, get yourself a head or maybe get some extra accessories and you got yourself a really nice 1/6 scale version of Hellboy in your collection. But yeah, that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next figure review.